Hi, I'm Melanie.
And I'm Corey.
And welcome to Love 'em and Lead 'em.
Lessons and laughs with the ladies of Dog Training Camp USA.
In this podcast, you'll take away proven and practical dog training advice with plenty of stories and laughs along the way.
Join us as we share our experience from the kennel and from life.
With that, let's sniff our way into this episode.
Hey, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this thing.
Alrighty. Let's talk about a dog named Zuko.
So this is our case of the week. Case of the week.
This was a, I'm getting out of the car, I'm driving to this thing that I know I have to do, and my mind is somewhere else, and then I get in front of the dog and the clients, and I'm like, holy shit, I was not, like, my brain was not focused on what we were doing at all, and I paid the price for it. The dog was like,
so we... we might as well tell what the phone call was, because that's how we get our clients.
Yeah.
So we chat. It's about 1.5-year-old husky pit, they said. And leash reactivity, obedience is stellar. That's what was reported to me. Leash reactivity, very difficult time walking him. He does fine at home, but as soon as they hit the road, that dog loses his mind and is pulling and reactive and kind of Looney Tunes on the leash. And then the other thing that they told me was he was getting in the trash when they weren't home. And that when guests come over, he is so excited. He's like jumping all over them and won't leave them alone. So they end up having to put him up. So when I got that call, I was like, here we come to save the day.
Yeah.
And we headed out. I thought it was a pretty much a straight up case of, leash work, how to deal with reactivity and jumping.
I think too, he was young. Was he under 2?
Yeah, he's 1.5 years.
Yeah. So I think he was like all the kind of
teenager
dickheaded things they said he was doing. Like none of them were.
Never any aggression or anything like that reported. Because of course I asked those questions. So we had a busy morning that morning, and we went together and we rolled up, and the dog and the family, they were all out in the backyard, and there was a fence. A gate fence, and the dog was jumping up. He was so happy. He's wagging his tail. He's like, please pet me, please pet me, please pet me.
I think they had mentioned that. I don't know if they did at that moment, and that's why I didn't pet him, or like they mentioned later, but like they said the Amazon guy will interact with him through the fence, or
like he makes friends through the fence.
He's used to like getting a treat from people, and he's very excited when we like came.
Yeah, so when we went up there, normally you and I have talked about this. Neither one of us are typically petting a dog over a fence, just because it's a very kind of coming in their business. It's always from above. We don't want to reach into their area, but he was standing there, and he was every indication that he was like, oh my God, if you don't touch me, I'm going to die. So I was like, oh, hi, buddy. So I gave him a little head scratch.
You touched him and I didn't.
Correct.
Which, again, I normally wouldn't. But kind of what happened next was they got him. They were like, hey, come on in. And we cross over the threshold. He wasn't even on the leash, was he? I had to wrestle him and get him on the leash. Yeah. So the dog is just like fucking like zeroes in on me, right? Like not doing any sniffing, not slowing down at all, but just a straight like, and it's just jumping. But he
was jumping really high, like vertical, very high.
There's not a lot of stuff that scares me, but that scared the shit out of me. Because I could clearly see, it didn't scare the shit out of me until the mom was like, oh yeah, we've never had anybody back here before.
I know. or they haven't in a long time. I don't
Since he was a puppy.
Yeah. Well, so what was interesting was the dog, Zuko was his name. Him and I kind of made friends, and we both go in, and he comes up to me and he starts to jump. Well, I just straight up plowed him.
I forgot about this
I
too.
just shoved him right off of me. My hand just was right on his chest because he was jumping that high. So he got a pretty hard shove from me. Like, no, brother, we're not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came around, but he was still very friendly. He came around and
it was friendly but intense.
It was intense. That's why my shove was hard.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I'm always saying you have to kind of meet them where they're at. So if he's jumping at me like that with a lot of force, I'm pushing him off of me with a lot of force. So I pushed him pretty darn good twice. And he went to you and he was jumping.
Kind of jerked me, and I didn't shove him like you did. It kind of I'd had an injection in my back the day before, and I was really sore and kind of stiff and just so I get in front of this dog and he kind of knocks me, and it just got me just dazed enough to be like, wait a minute, I didn't like how that felt. That actually felt really mean. And I can't describe it, the energy behind it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about the body language, him jumping on you looked like, I love you. And him jumping on me looked like, I dare you to look at me.
Yeah.
I dare you,
and
lady.
he was up face to face with you because he was jumping so high.
And then at this point, I'm asking the people, how does he, is this normal? Because.
And then you said, has he ever bit somebody? And I was like, oh, God, things are taking a turn.
You're looking at me like, what's the matter with you? And I'm like, if I make eye contact with this dog while he's midair, he's going to put his teeth in me.
Yeah. He booped you with his nose on the face.
Like a warning shot, right? So I've been in a situation before where I was inexperienced and got in front of a dog and a client where I was like, hey, trying to tell somebody that they might have some a little bit of a dangerous situation on their hands without me freaking out, and then without making them either. Sometimes they get offended. Yeah. Sometimes they get defensive. Sometimes, they get actually scared, and then it makes the whole situation worse. So I'm physically a little bit compromised, and you are looking at me like, what the fuck? And the guy is throttling the dog, and the dog is I'm telling him, I'm yank that dog every time his feet leave the ground, and it ain't working. And he's it's one thing to be kind of bombarded in that initial 10 to 30 seconds that we come into the space, but it's another thing for it to be kind of relentless, and it just you can tell it's escalating. And then, at some point they were like, yeah, there's not been anybody back here in months. And I'm like, holy fuck. Okay.
Well, luckily I was the winner.
You were the winner. And if I would have been by myself on that, I would have been totally fucked.
I took out the slip leash and put the slip leash on the dog. Mm-hmm. And I took over managing him around you for the dad. So once I had him on the leash and could see what you were seeing, I was like, oh yeah, he really doesn't like Melanie.
Yeah, he was locked in. And I didn't love the looks that he was giving you. I
could see that on your face, but I wasn't looking at the dog.
Well, if you would have been looking at him, he would have bit you. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it.
It's a good thing that we are trying to not to look at them.
Sheesh. I'm like, please don't look. Please don't look. Please don't look. Because at that point, I'm behind the fence. I'm like, y'all got to get him calmed down.
Your face said it all.
We'll reintroduce.
So Zuko and I walked a whole bunch of circles, and I continued to push him off of me and all the things. And we got you actually on the other side of the fence, so he could chill.
Well, the other thing about going on the other side of the fence, too, is we're standing there kind of all in a circle together, the four of us, the four humans, and he's not, at that distance, he's not able to get himself, some of the things we would normally do, he's not coming down at all. So I'm like, he can safely interact with me, at least through the fence, and sniff me and get the information he needs to know that, it ain't a big deal, right? So I'm like, I got to get out of here. So we let him come up and sniff me, and he just goes right back to, I don't like you. So
it's interesting too, because then we were in the position to have to point out some of these behaviors to his parents who didn't realize kind of the undertone of how he was acting.
Yeah.
And it's really, you know, most people that have a dog that is kind of threatening someone in some way is barking or growling or doing some more outward snarling, doing some more outward behaviors. And this dog was not barking or growling. He was lunging. He was jumping. He was booping. He was fixating and kind of circling.
Oh, yeah.
So some of those behaviors that we were able to point out to them, like, they didn't realize what was going on.
No, and good for them, because it, like, they were receptive to it.
Absolutely.
And they were like, oh, that's what that means? Oh, hell no, we ain't having that. And they were like on it.
They were. I mean, if we had a client of the week, they would be it, because the two of them handled that dog
absolutely
flawlessly. And they have done the upfront work on some of the obedience, and he was really solid listening to them.
Explain a little bit more about, you pointed it out to me, because I was just trying to figure out how to not get bit. But you were like, do you see what he's doing? He's circling his mom more than he circled his dad. Talk a little bit about.
He didn't like you at all. He was tolerating me, and him and I were, you know, working together. But as soon as we let up and gave him any freedom, he was putting himself between us and his parents, or he was walking around and circling his mom, like guarding behavior.
Circling and looking at me.
Yeah. And like,
this.
Try it, lady.
Yeah.
Go ahead and try to talk to my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was interesting though, because, you know, typical barking, growling, he was not doing.
No.
So it was a lot of
no, and I've been bit by a lot of dogs, and a lot of them were not barking or growling at me.
For sure.
Like, so
we had to do a ton of leash work with that dog before he would even settle.
Dude, yeah, he. So you grab the leash. The dad's not. He's restraining him, but like at this point, I feel like the dog doesn't even trust the dad to do anything, right? Like, he's just getting more and more intense. So I get behind the fence. You grab the leash. You start circling the dog. He's doing this.
Oh, yeah. He was like his head on a swivel. Every time we would turn, he's like eye contact with you, or trying to make eye contact with you.
In the first couple circles you did, when you came around where I was and he had to turn his back on me, that was when I thought you were going to get bit.
Because he was turning around watching.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, you're not going to turn around and watch her.
You told him that he couldn't look at me because you're like, it ain't that big of a deal, guy. And he didn't like that.
No.
But you just like kept walking and gave him a like, you're not going to jump on me like that.
He did come up at me once or twice, and I firmly was like, nope.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. We're just walking.
Yeah.
Everything's cool, friend. Everything's cool.
And I'm over behind the fence like,
this dog is not small.
No, he was giant. In fact, I don't think he's a pit mix. I think he's probably more Cane Corso, which is mastiffy, which is beefy and fucking meatball type of dog, but with
his
a husky.
head was huge. Yeah. Oh, he was probably a good 80 pounds or a little north of.
He was handsome though.
He was a stud.
Did he have blue eyes?
He did.
That's why.
Yeah.
And just a little bit
like that. Oh, you know how I feel about that blockhead.
I know. I wanted to smooch his face off.
I love him.
He didn't like
I wanted
me.
to smooch him too, but
yeah,
we know better than that. So we ended up getting to a point where you could come back in.
Yeah, so we basically just circled and reset.
We circled, we reset. We didn't give him any freedom. We didn't give him, he had a long leash that they were using. Nope, can't handle that. You know, we restricted it. We taught them some of the things, some of the ways to show him, hey, we're actually in charge of this situation. You don't need to worry about it. And one of those is having your dog right next to you in a heel and having them sitting with your foot slightly in front of them is super helpful to show them, hey, I got this.
Yeah, not allowing the dog to be in between you and the thing that they're focused on, whether it's an excitement or it's we're in danger.
Yeah,
I have to sit here type of thing. That is typically all we have to do. This dog had to be reined in. Sometimes we don't have to go quite as extreme as we did on that case, but by the time that you had circled him, and then the mom had to circle him and have the same argument about looking at me.
Yeah, and the dad too.
He was, both, all three of you guys. I never even ended up. I think I was able to stand by him, and we were like, that's probably enough for today.
Didn't interact with him.
But I don't think I pet him or talked to him. But that whole argument went on and on and on and on and on and on, and he was still fucking fixating on me. The best part that we got was at the end of the circling, like once he was just like, his brain and his body were just like exhausted. Yeah. He turned, his mom had him in the heel, and he turned his back on me, and he kind of kicked his legs out.
He was like, fine.
Kind of laid down and like kind of kept like, he was panting like he was more relaxed, but he kind of kept looking at me over his shoulder. Like,
well,
you,
and
lady.
I pointed out to her, like, go ahead, turn the other way. Whatever is going to make you as a dog, like, feel better, just do it. Those are some coping skills that this guy clearly does not have. So he was like, okay, well, I don't want to get in trouble. My mom's told me to sit down like 52 times.
Yes.
I'll just turn the other way and I won't look at this lady.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing we told the mom to do was, as soon as he did that and he kind of kicked his hips out like he was relaxed, we told her to praise him.
Absolutely. Like, freaking make out with that dog, will ya? Like, that was hard for him.
Yes.
And it's been hard for all of us. So let's take a minute and just love on him, because that's what we want him to do.
I think sometimes too, where like this gets a little bit convoluted with like dog training versus like behavioral, like I think some obedience trainers would rather that be a command and they get like rewarded for that, like for doing that. So like, I told you to lay down here and you're going to have to do it. Whereas I think we work through a more like, let's see what choices the dogs will make to get to this end desired result. Like the end goal is the dog lays here and is relaxed, whether I tell it to or it chooses to, I don't care. But we have a lot more success when the dog is making the choices, because then they revert to, okay, all I have to do is go back to this relaxed state. This is right next to my mom. I'm good here. You know,
it's definitely a marked difference over time when the dog starts choosing the items from the chill out menu on their own.
I like that.
It's like here's your menu of ways that you can chill out that are acceptable, that you're not going to get either in trouble or fixed by your human.
And
pick
I think
one of these.
We are helping people curate their dog's chill out menus, right?
Yes,
we're like,
sure.
Hey, this dog is a cane corso, probably bully mix of some kind, husky, and he's full of piss and vinegar. He's not neutered. So his chill out menu is limited to sitting next to his mom, which is fine because he loves his mom and it works in that situation. So, hopefully, you know, we always tell people like, the better you get at this, the more your chill out menu can expand,
for sure.
Like, and then the dog kind of starts to realize like, oh, life doesn't have to be so stressful. So like at the end of all that, I was like, I probably did the wrong thing. I was like, let's go inside now. Let's make him chill out inside.
Oh my God. We got him. It took forever. Nobody got bit. And
by this point,
we
Corey's
were like, okay,
I'm a little frazzled. We're ready to be done.
Let's go inside if that's what we're doing. Buckle up, everybody, because here we go.
Let's make the space even smaller.
So they had already done place work. They had already done a lot of the things. They already did door manner. So they appreciated us showing them where we would put him and how to kind of manage him when people come over and some of those management tools. So we really just took the relaxing part at the end and moved it inside.
Well, and I wanted to talk to them about, like, this dog's got to get used to people moving around. Like, because I would just, when we were standing out there talking, like, I would kind of shift or, you know, like,
and he
stand
was like,
in a different...
I'll eat you now.
Yeah, every
Go
time
ahead.
I even moved, he was like, duh.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You did it now. So
we practiced some of that in the house.
I was like, you make that dog sit right there and I'm going to walk through your house and I'm going to touch everything in here.
We
just
also,
so he can know that I was here long after I left.
We also talked to them about their espresso maker.
Yeah.
We're in a situation, people.
every house we go into, I'm like, is that an espresso maker?
So
tell me about that.
We went in, we did some work in the house, and he was actually really chilled out in the house.
So we were in there maybe like 20, 30 minutes. That's after like an hour and a half session.
Yeah.
He was so exhausted that he started again. He started like, okay, these ladies are here, and I relaxed, and now they're still here. Like,
and now I can't relax anymore.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah. So he hit a wall there at the end, and I really wanted the people to see that. I'm like, this is important because you might have a really good experience where somebody comes over for several hours and you do all these things, and he gets better and better at it, but don't expect too much too soon. Like, this is a skill.
He's going to have a threshold.
You're going to have to practice. So I was kind of glad it ended like that, because I'm always like, when I leave cases like that, I'm like, God, I hope I like made sure that they understood how to keep themselves safe. Like,
yeah.
I feel terrible if somebody got bit doing something I told them to do.
Well, for them, I mean, they were incredibly good handlers.
Oh yeah.
They did every single thing we asked them to do. And really, it wasn't anything that they weren't doing. It was just we were tweaking how they were doing it. Mm-hmm. And some of that nonverbal stuff that they just weren't reading the dog quite right. And
they had a great handle on
understanding
for sure
what the implications were.
Yeah.
But once we showed them how to communicate a little bit more non-verbally and body language wise, they were on it.
Yeah.
They were awesome clients. In fact, I think I asked them if they wanted a job.
You offered one a job.
I did. I did offer him a job. He was excellent.
Always offering clients jobs.
So old Zuko.
Yep.
I asked them where they got their dog's name from.
Oh God. Yeah.
Because I only have one Zuko reference.
I had a feeling where it was going when you asked it, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same reference.
I mean, I think that Grease stands the test of time and that it is a universal reference no matter how old you are. That's my stand on it.
Old being the operative word.
The movie is old. I am not. I'm a spring chicken. But it was not from Grease. It was from Avatar.
Yes, it's the airbending one.
Grease is way more fun.
If you like singing and dancing, yeah.
I sure do.
I know you do.
So, yeah, Zuko.
Right.
Hopefully happily ever after.
Yeah, well, let's check in with them.
Yeah, for sure. They were lovely.
We are going to take a quick break. No, we'll find it. We'll find which one it is.
Okay.
My dog won't heel, stay or sit.
My dog won't heel, stay or sit.
But I didn't give up, no, I did not quit.
No, I didn't give up, I did not quit.
He went to Dog Training Camp USA.
He went to Dog Training Camp USA.
Now he can heel, sit, and stay.
Now he can heel, sit, and stay.
Sound off.
502.
Sound off.
356.
Sound off.
502 356 3059.
All right, and welcome back to Google Reviews. So this one is from 2 months ago. This is from our friend Pam. Also, there are 4 pictures, and I will describe my favorite one here in a little bit. The review says, we got our dog Nala when she turned 3, and after having 4 litters of puppies. Nala didn't trust and didn't know how to be a dog. After 3 weeks, our Nala came home knowing she could always trust us and that she was a vital member of our family. Aww. Thank you, Mel and Corey, for giving Nala what she needed to live the rest of her life as a pampered diva.
Oh, I love it.
And then the third picture here is Nala just like swimming in an indoor pool, and it is the greatest thing.
That dog is living her life, man.
That daycare they take her to
down in E-Town
has an indoor pool.
So Nala, thank you for reading that, Matt. Nala is a golden retriever, and she was used as a breeding dog. And we've actually seen this a lot recently. In fact, it's picking up.
I had no idea it was even a problem.
I didn't either, but we are having
wipe my nose.
we're having one after another. So Nala was used just pretty much to have babies, and when they decided they didn't want to have her to have any more babies, they didn't want her anymore, and so they put her up for adoption. And I said that in air quotes for our listeners. And so our dear friend Pam, who is our client but is now, like, we love her, her and her husband adopted Nala, and Nala did not know how to dog. Like, we're kind of assuming she was treated more like a farm animal and, under socialized, didn't know how to do the leash, was very nervous about everything in the world. Like, she's not a dog they were taking to Lowe's or anything like that. So they were like, we want to bond with our dog, but there's definitely...
Yeah, we don't know how.
She's shut down. We don't know how to get through to her.
Not motivated by human anything.
Yeah.
Wants nothing to do with humans. Was probably kept in a room
Probably.
with her puppies and somebody, that's probably it. So she was very sweet, but understandably very confused when this nice couple took her in. So, it's kind of... it's the tale as old as time, right? Like, we take these dogs that don't know, we call it they don't know how to dog.
Yeah.
But, it's usually kind of cases where they've been kind of isolated, from humans and dogs. They don't know how to play. They don't know how to get what they want. So then they just kind of shut down and don't ask for it, right? Really... it was just leading her through all of life's scary things.
Yeah. Like, don't worry about it, kid. We'll show you what to do.
Yep. She really was one of the transformations that, like, we still talk about. I mean, this has been a couple of years ago that we worked with her. I'm really excited to see her this summer when she comes
we
back.
worked with them quite a while ago, and they got her home and just rave reviews. They were so happy. She was so much happier. Doing all the things, was living successfully in their home. And then we actually just heard from them. She's going to come for a little stay while they go on vacation. I'm super excited about it.
I am too. And I'm always super curious to see, like, how... I know it's dependent on clients and environments and stuff, but, like, especially a dog like that was such an extreme case. Like, we're going to see her. We haven't seen her in a while. I'm curious to see what it looks like now. Like, sometimes they revert back to some of their fearful stuff. Sometimes they just live happily ever after and there's no issues. So, those are super interesting cases for us. So
we can't wait to see old Nala
also
living her best life.
Funny story about Nala's parents. She's the cutest, oldest, like, nicest people that adopted her, literally ever. That, like, angels, right?
Yeah.
And I always remember her. They came to group class, and me and you were teaching it together. I don't know why. Well, it's been a long time ago. I don't know, but I will say I remember that her dad's pants fell down while he was circle walking the dog.
Seriously?
Yes, and you called him out in front of the whole class.
I don't even remember this. Does that mean a lot of people drop their pants in our group class?
I mean, it wasn't the first time it's happened, and it's happened since. So usually to the male population that works with us.
They need a belt.
His wife gave him a hard time for not wearing a belt to class. Yeah.
Wow. I have no recollection of this.
Wow. Well, it was hilarious, and not the first time it's happened. And, people, like, they'll be walking their circles and they're, like, concentrating, like, on the dog and their hands and then like before they know it, their pants are around their ankles.
I love that so much.
I don't think poor Nala's dad, I don't think his pants, like, got to his ankles, but I mean, I think somebody saw his butt.
Well,
in our parking lot.
I have no recollection of this. So I think it's safe to say that either I didn't see his butt or his butt was unremarkable. One or the other.
Maybe both are true.
Maybe. So anyway, glad they still like us.
Me
and
too.
they're bringing her back after this.
Because we harassed them.
Oh, man.
Man, that's a good one.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all we got for today, folks.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks for listening to this episode of Love 'Em and Lead 'Em. If you want to hear more, be sure to check us out every other week on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Dog Training Camp USA Louisville and check out our website at dogtrainingcamplouisville.com for more information on our training and other services.
If you need help with your dog, don't hesitate to reach out. You can find our contact details in the show notes.
We'll smell you later.